Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff. For those who know the pop culture reference, my name is Jeff. There's a funny story behind that. I'll tell someday. Hey for sales, that's what I do. I sell items. I talk eBay, all things reseller, give my insight as to why I pick up the items that I do. Maybe give you some things to look out for when you're out and about sourcing. A lot of my stuff is longer tail. It's not for everybody. It's not your flavor of the day. But there's some good items that went out today. Things are definitely feeling better. If everything goes the way it should today, because I've got 2 local sales lined up later. I'm going to talk about those. I'm at 8 at 332 right now since the last video. So that's good. And I would have had this video out earlier, but tell me if you guys can relate to this. You sell something and you can't find it. Is that not the most frustrating thing? I'll show you. First sale, I'm going to show you this book right here, Silver Surfer. It's a hardcover. It's by Mobius. Mobius is an amazing artist. And definitely one of my favorite. And I purchased this at a thrift store for $4. And because I knew it was a desirable graphic novel, it sold for $62. You know, right place, right time. It would not. It's because I go there all the time that you can kind of run into deals once in a while. I don't think this would have lasted too long on the shelves. I think someone would have snapped it up, but I couldn't find it. Now, earlier this year, I got to a point with my inventory that I started to do a SKU box location. So because I sell a lot of things that are small, I'm like, this is getting to be too much. So I started, I make A box, B box, C box, and then I file them. And so here's a little tip. I'm aware that I am very capable of making mistakes. And I knew this day was going to happen. I knew that I was going to sell something that I forgot to put the SKU in, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm like looking around in my unorganized inventory for it. Like I have spots where graphic novels are. I have, what's the word I'm looking for? Like shelves. I have shelves, but things get messed around. So it was nowhere to be found. So I go back. Now here is a tip that if you sell something and you can't find it, go back and look at the date that you listed it. It'll be on your original listing. And it doesn't matter if you've deleted it and sold similar, because when you delete and sell similar, it still keeps that order. Just bear with me for a minute. So you go back and then look at the date, and then go back to your active listings and sort it by time or date or whatever it says. It says start date. Sort it by start date. And then you go back and you look at the days around the time when you listed that original item. So this one was like June 23rd. So I go back and I'm looking through June 23rd, and then I'm looking at the SKU locations to see what are the SKU locations of the items around that time frame. And sure enough, it was in a long box it was LB4, long box 4. Now, no problem if you don't do SKUs. This can still work for you, because you can go and you can look at the items that you listed around that time, and it's possible that you'll remember. Lots of times we buy things at a thrift store and we kind of remember the other item. Sometimes we remember the other items that we bought at that thrift store, or maybe we were listing that day, and maybe it might jog something in your memory that will help you determine where that item might be, because it is the most stressful thing to sell something and not be able to find it. It's like when I go to my inventory and I start looking, it's like my anxiety is like nothing. And then it's like I go to an area where I think it's going to be. If it's not there, the anxiety starts to go up a little bit. and then you go there, another place where it might be, because you know you always have like 3 or 4 different spots where you might put a specific product. And then when you've exhausted everything, then you're like, okay, then my anxiety is super high, and now I got to go back and try to take my time, and it's so stressful, and it's stressful because eBay makes it such a priority, and such a, you know, a defect on your account can just weigh so much for having something out of stock. And it's just like, it happens. It shouldn't be that big of an issue. But anyhow, so that's a good sale. Sale number 2. Let's get this big stuff out of the way. A lot of manga. Somebody made me an offer for $120 and I accepted. No, it was $120. They made me an offer for $100 and I accepted. I bought that in a lot. I'm probably all in on that, maybe $30. You know, not every item that I buy is like you buy it for $2 and you sell it for $40 or $50 or $100. It's not, reselling is not like that. But I don't exactly remember the cost of that, but I know I made money on that for sure. And lots of times when I'm buying lots of things, I try to identify a few things that I think I'm going to make my money on, and then everything else is bonus. So this is probably the everything else is bonus category, but I don't really remember exactly. This remote control, oh, in case you were curious, this is Yori Aoshi. I mean, they're in really high grade. I do well with manga. A lot of people don't really think there's much value there, but I do well with them because, you know, and he may end up buying more. I don't know. Like, I told him if you wanted to add any other manga, I could do free shipping. So it's just like building your store with similar items and allowing yourself that opportunity to get bonus sales on top of an initial sale. So, and I'm going to talk a little bit later in this video about what I'm doing, how I have a master plan to create repeat business, sans eBay. I think sans without eBay. So this remote control, LA Cross Technology, this sold for $24, and I'm sure I probably, you know, picked it up for $1 or $2. You know, some remotes do well, some remotes don't. This one, I would say this was in the well category. All right. You know, suddenly, you know, it's been a good couple days of sales. Things have started to you know, for July, well, August now, for, you know, the thick of summer. You know, everything last week that nobody wanted my stuff, suddenly my stuff is desirable. I don't understand it. And I think, you know, last week was a reminder how vulnerable we are to eBay. We have to not forget that. Like, the message of promoted listings is still that it's not right. That if they're forcing us into that program, it should be in addition to, it should be the way it is, the way it was. And then if you want more sales, then you do promoted listings. I will say this, out of the 8 sales that I had, 2 were promoted and 6 were organic. That is, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. It's when it's the other way around, or even worse, 8 promoted, 0 organic, that I have an issue with. And if and when it ever gets to that case, then I will personally implement more measures in my business to make some even more drastic changes in regards to how I sell online or not online at all. I've got a lot of plans. I've got a lot of thoughts. You know, I'm going to be sharing everything. You know, as we go, I try to be as transparent. I try to leave comments on my site that, I try to leave all comments on my site. I'm not somebody who wants to censor people's thoughts. I want this to be a safe space. Obviously, if somebody's being completely irrational and badgering me or whatever. I don't think that's going to happen. But like, somebody made a comment on my site, and I don't know if he thought that he was going to offend me or something, but he said what he wanted to say, and then he said, this comment will probably be deleted. And I read it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to delete your comment just because you speak your mind. So I want you guys to know that I plan on leaving all comments, like I said, as long as they're not rude or whatnot. Like, have a point, right? Like, have a point, be reasonable. We all have our different opinions, and I want to respect those as well. So where was I? Yes, the sales. Anyhow, this little Vancouver Olympic 2010 bag, I find a lot of this kind of stuff in the Pacific Northwest. Vancouver's were here, the Olympics were in 2010. I got to go to the closing ceremonies. That was pretty awesome. This sold for $24 plus shipping, going to Canada as well. And let me talk to you about something I alluded to last week, and I finally got around to it. So I've taken the opportunity, and this is completely okay with eBay. I've talked about that. I've talked about it with them to make sure that it's okay. I have a reference number for the call. So I basically have a sheet of paper with my information on here. And so I messaged this person, and I was like, hey, if you want to add anything else, here's my other eBay store, and I can do free shipping on it, because inside Canada shipping is a little bit different if you're shipping from inside Canada versus if you're shipping out, in terms of what you can, it's really easy to add. So he looked, he didn't see anything, but he said, you've got a lot of great stuff. I will be back. So this is the perfect opportunity for me to include my information in there and offer. I'm not going to read my exact message. I mean, I don't want everyone to, create your own, make it your own, right? It's a way to create that personal relationship and turn this eBay customer into your own customer. Like, this is a concept that I think is very, very important. Like, I was speaking with Maria, my wife, last night. Who are eBay's customers? What is a customer? Because she said to me, she's like, I always hear you on the phone when you're talking with eBay, and you're saying how you are eBay's customer, me. Like, I am eBay's customer. A person who buys something on eBay, they're not eBay's customers. They're our customers. They provide the facilitation, they provide the service, but they don't make anything. They're not Amazon. And I know they want to compete and be like Amazon, but they're not Amazon, and they never will be. They never will be Amazon. That's not to say that they can't elevate their brand through whatever future means, but they're never going to be Amazon unless they start making products. So I think it's empowering for us as sellers, resellers, sellers, business owners, to think about that. To think that these are my customers. They come back to my store, but they also have the opportunity to purchase either directly from me and look at my other stores. Like, for example, I've had to start selling not adult, but basically comics, graphic novels that have sexually explicit, like some manga have nudity, some books have nudity, some covers of comics have nudity. For example, I sell on another website called Hip Comics. I sold this yesterday. I'm not going to read the title. I'll hold it up so you can read it. I got this. This didn't cost me anything. It sold for $12.50. and it's hilarious. It's like a spoof on Dungeons and Dragons. The Cobalt Wizards Bleep of Enlightenment. I don't know if you can see that, but and then on the back, I don't really want to read that aloud. But like for customers who buy comic books and manga and graphic novels, like that's a great opportunity inside my note to advertise my other sources as well, you know, and create that relationship with that customer. It like I said, it's super empowering as a reseller, as a curator of amazing things. You know, this is another topic that I'm going to be touching upon in future videos. You know, what does reselling mean to you in terms of how do you describe yourself? Somebody on YouTube had an interesting take on it. They call themselves a personal shopper. You know, they go out and they buy the things for people that they think they're going to want. And I thought that was an interesting take. So anyhow, this my little note, since I believe he's going to be receptive to it, is going to go inside this this bag. I don't sell coffee. This is not I just wanted to show you guys this Kahlua mocha coffee. Phenomenal. All right, next sale. Oh, I also wanted to make a joke. My wife said that eBay's like the sun, and it's like you know, like last week the sun wasn't shining on any of us, right? But now I can only speak for my store, and I know some people are starting to see sales, but it's like I feel like the sun is shining on me again, right? Like, but again, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be like we feel like we're at the mercy of eBay, because I'm convinced that either they were just having site issues last week, which again is inexcusable. They still want us to pay our store fees. They still want us to, you know, but they can't have a properly functioning website. They need to get their stuff together. But so when I say did eBay shine on you today, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is super cool. This is called Views. It's either Views or Dragon's Dream. Now it is in rough shape. Like, I saw this and I didn't know what it was when I bought it. It looked familiar to me. It looked very familiar. I'm going to show you some insides. Now, if you listen to classic rock, does that look familiar? The style. It's kind of a fragile book. Does the artwork resemble any artwork that you might have seen on an album back in the 70s? It's by the guy who did all the Yes covers. This sold for $35, 35 or 38. It sold on my wife's Canadian site, so it was like 50 Canadian. I don't remember what I paid for it, to be honest with you. I bought it either at a thrift store or at a comic show. I just knew I had to have it because it was super cool. There was one other comic that I sold that I've already shipped out. It was only for $8. It was like a WrestleMania comic. It was like a new comic. Not that great of a sale. The remote sold. This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Shredder cover. This sold for $23. I thought I just had another sale, but I did not. So those are all the eBay sales. So somebody asked, how do I source? And I do plan on down the road, you know, getting a you know, GoPro and all that, but until I learn how to edit, you know, I'm still a new YouTube, And I also know, I've heard you guys about my volume issues. I don't know what's wrong, but I am getting a new phone very soon, sometime in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully that should totally get rid of that. I apologize. Please bear with me. As I said, this is still a very new YouTube channel. And yeah. Okay. Hey, anybody see all those eBay commercials for their eBay auto, like when you're watching YouTube videos? Does it not just rub you the wrong way when you see those? Every time I see those, I'm like, I'm paying for that. I'm like, it's unnecessary. Like, they don't need to do that much advertising. It just bothers me. I don't know. I don't know why I said that, but I just get really annoyed. Oh, another thing. With the success of Barbie, you know, obviously Barbie stuff is very popular right now. It's selling through the roof. 2 franchises to keep an eye on going forward. Polly Pocket, they're going to be making a movie of that, and Hot Wheels. I mean, people probably already, you know, Hot Wheels is already pretty well known, but the stuff's, you know, certain stuff is probably going to see quite a bump up in prices. And Polly Pocket, their stuff, like the earlier stuff, is already pretty desirable, so it's going to only get more. So maybe check out local sales, like local Craigslist, Facebook, Marketplace, see if you can pick up some of that stuff on the cheap. Like, I wouldn't personally go out and buy, like, spend a premium hoping it's going to go up even more, because movies do flop. But I wanted to bring that to your attention because I didn't even know they were making either of those movies. So it's like that. This is the kind of information too that I always want to share with you guys, because we are already out, you know, going to the thrift stores, going to the flea markets, going to estate sales or whatever. We're already going out. So the more knowledge that we have, the more opportunity for profits, and the more opportunity, or the more worthwhile it is to go out, because there's nothing worse going to a sale and coming away with nothing. It's like, oh, I wasted my time, I wasted my gas to do that. So let me talk about a mess up that I did. So the Ford hat that I sold yesterday, I might have to refund that guy because I cannot find it. No, it's not. I mean, I found it and I shipped it out, but I think I put the wrong label on it. I cannot figure it out. I know this sounds horrible. So it's my mess up. It's totally my mess up. And the reason I'm telling you this is because, you know, I make mistakes, and I'm so hard on myself because it's like, I know I can be better. I know I can do better. It's so frustrating. I'm pretty overwhelmed with stuff going on in my life right now. And I feel like I just need to take time to kind of clean my space as well. I think that's going to help. I think I'm going to do that today. After I get packaging, as soon as I get off this video, I'm going to start packaging. But yeah, so how I handle mess ups like this, because I don't want to compound it and then get a negative feedback. I'm already going to have to give him his money back. So now I'm doing damage control. I just told him, I'm like, dude, I'm like, I don't really have a valid excuse for this mess up. I told him what happened. And then I told him, and I apologized, and I said, here's how I'm going to handle this, and you let me know if you're okay with this. So I said, I can't find it. I can't even figure out where it went. I'm hoping that the person who gets it contacts me and says, hey, you know, you sent me this hat. I'm hoping I can forward it, have that buyer forward it to him. But I told the buyer, I'm gonna refund your money, and I'm gonna try and get the hat forwarded to you at no cost. That was solution one. Solution two was, so it was a $21 hat. I like to go above and beyond and kind of show my customers that I am remorseful for this, but I want to make it up to you. It's not that I'm canceling the order because I can't find it, or I'm canceling the order because I don't want, for whatever reason. So I said, or if you want, pick out something in my stores for $50 and I'll send it to you at my dime. So that way I don't have to cancel the order, and so I'm eating some money, but it's also showing him that, hey, I'm willing to eat some extra cost, provide a good experience on your end. Maybe there was something else that he saw. Maybe, you know, it was $40 or $45. And that would make me happy. If somebody came and said that to me, I would be like, right on, let me go see. You know, as a reseller, I would go and look and see if I could find something that I could pick out and maybe resell, maybe make some money on the transaction, right? I would really appreciate that effort from that seller. And then he messaged me and he goes, hey, he's like, I get it. He's like, it happens. He's like, let me know if there's any chance that I can get it shipped to me, like with the scenario that I said to him. He's like, because I really like the hat. And then I responded, I'm like, I totally will. I said, like, I will be canceling the order later that day per your request. And I told him I will do everything that I can to track the hat down, and should you choose to shop with me in the future, mention this mess up, I'll hook you up. So it's like, I'm still trying to deliver more to the customer, to be like, I would love the opportunity to make this up to you, right? So that's how I kind of handle some of these things. Now the last thing I want to talk about, I also sold, I had one more sale. I sold one of these keychains that I bought. I bought a bunch of these. I showed these on my videos when I bought them. I bought some from a person locally, and then I ended up buying more. This sold for one of them. So it's a multi-quantity listing. So there's 3 of them on there. And it states on the listing very clearly, at the time of your purchase, let me know which one you want, but he hasn't done that, so I have to email him, and I'm waiting for him to respond. What do you do, right? You know, people don't read listings these days. But one of those sold for $16, $15.63. I always round up if it's over 50 when I talk, and I always round down. I don't really do like cents. So the last thing I want to talk about are the local sales that I have. And, you know, these are things that you can do during the summer slow months. For example, this is a purse. This is a Hush Puppies purse. It's vintage. It was my wife's. She no longer wanted it. I literally listed this yesterday, or possibly the day before, but I think I listed it yesterday for $20. And somebody messaged me today. It's one of those deals where we're just finding the right time to meet up. Today's kind of a really crazy day. I'm really super busy, so I can't meet today. So where we left it is, she definitely wants it. I marked it as pending, and in the next couple days we'll meet up. So I'm showing it to you now because, you know, she could message me tonight and say, hey, I'm near you, let's meet up. So, but getting rid of stuff that you have in your house. Don't spend money in Source if you don't have to. Clean. Do some Marie Kondo. Does it spark joy? If it doesn't, get rid of it. Get it out of there. Like, we have so much stuff in our place. And I'm constantly trying to get rid of stuff. You know, yes, I'm buying stuff and bringing it in, but that's in the inventory. That's for the business. But I'm also at the same time always trying to minimize what we have in our own personal space. And you can get money from it, right? And It's cash deal, just a local sale. It's just stuff that you're selling. Do that. And then the other thing was, I actually believe being on YouTube is going to make me a better reseller. It's helping me. I take criticism. I mean, not criticism. I take comments people say, and I listen to them, and I think I'm becoming not as attached to the price that I have an item listed for, and it's working. So yesterday I have, and this is kind of heavy to show, but I paid $10. No, I paid I paid $10 for this at a garage sale. It's an IKEA. What is it? An IKEA. Oh. Ivar. It's like a wooden box. There's like a little image of what it is. It's discontinued. Sometimes IKEA discontinued stuff really sells. So keep an eye on that. And they all have like a number. So this one was like 9. It's all like, it's basically almost all like 3 digits dot, and then 2. So it's pretty easy to go ahead and search, although there are some instances where it's impossible to search. Boy, I had a humdinger of a customer experience. I'm pretty sure I talked about that in one of my early videos. But somebody made me an offer. Now, I had this listed on eBay for pretty ridiculously high, like $100, because for some reason I swear I thought I saw comps for this exact same thing for over 100. Now, this person made me an offer for 40 local. Now, at first I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. But then I thought, you know what? Sales have been slow. Let's create some flow, right? Let's not, it's big, it's bulky. I really don't want to ship it because it would be really heavy. I thought, why not? Let's just sell it. Let's just get it out the door. Let's make some room. Let's get some cash. It's keeping it off of eBay, which is like my new big joy when possible, when it makes sense. I don't pay any promoted listings on it. I don't pay any final value fees on it. Let's do it. So I was right. Like I'm really trying to take notes on things that I talk about to try to keep my videos, because these are all one take, guys. Like I don't, and I actually think there's some value in that. So it's not like I'm editing myself when I'm making these videos. This is just one long stream of consciousness. And not that there's anything wrong with editing videos. At some point I plan on it as well, for the presentation purposes, but it can be hard to keep on track, as I'm sure you've noticed. But I wrote down, not being attached to max value, being flexible with price. I think it's so important. I thought I got an offer, but it's just a delayed offer on something. I don't really know what's going on with that. Like they've already accepted that. Anyhow, and then underneath that, I wrote, the reason to do that is creating or potentially creating a client. So you sell this to somebody locally, you give them a good deal in their opinion. I make money. I bought it for 10, sold it for 40. I can't complain about that. No fees, can't complain about that. I sent them the links of things that I sell, and they ended up buying these. So they're 2 poster prints. This first one is from, well, they're both from Robert Dobie, D-O-B-I-E, and this is Nightlight. And this one is super cool. And I have them listed for 50, and they didn't seem like they were trying to negotiate a price down from that. And to be honest with you, if they I would accept even less for these. Now, I had these listed on eBay as well. So again, like, I'm able to take them both down from eBay, sell them locally, create a client. Like, this is the, I think we don't actually put enough emphasis on being business owners that create customers with repeat business. I think we sell, we go through eBay, and we think that these are eBay's customers, but just always remember, they come to our store. They buy from us. If we're not there, yeah, they might go somewhere else, but and they will go somewhere else, but they came to you. So I just want to leave you with that thought. Chew on that for a while and let me know what you guys think of that. If you're still here and you enjoy this content, feed the YouTube algo. You know what to do. I really appreciate all the support and all the comments, all the subscribers. I do try to read. Everything, and I do respond to a lot. Not everything, really actually needs a response. But yeah, I hear you guys. I'm gonna get the volume issues fixed. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Have a good day. I hope your guys' sales are doing better than last week. Things do feel, especially given the time of the year we're in, it feels good. I'm actually super optimistic for the fourth quarter. And I don't really normally kind of get excited about the fourth quarter, but I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be a good fall. So and Christmas. So take care, guys.